Hello, my beautiful YouTube family. I am Angie Hartzell, and thank you for visiting my channel. I'm all about quality of life for you and your dog, and I just wanted to do a really quick video today because I want to talk about that one thing that really makes behavioral dog training go so much smoother and so much quicker. Before we get into that one thing, I do want to talk about why it works so quickly, because when we are living our life as a human, we are used to using verbal cues as well as we feel the energy and we can see things quicker and understand what they mean quicker. And we know how to move from one thing to the other based on those types of things. But as a dog, they do not get to have that many options, right? So they don't fully understand what every word means, and they don't fully understand what a sentence means, and they don't fully understand when someone is being more serious, and things. They can definitely pick up on energy, but they don't fully get the ins and outs of the communication styles that we as humans use. So one of the things that makes all of the training go super quick when it comes to behavioral training is the use of hands, okay? So in the dog world, hands are affection and connection, okay? So when the dog wants something from us, we use our hands to connect with them. We also show affection to the dog with them. So we're petting, we're rubbing behind the ears, they're over on their back, we're rubbing their belly, we're running our hands down their back, down their tail, we're touching their paws, right? And everything that we give them comes through our hands, right? So in the dog world, if they can get our attention and get our hands, they're getting what they want. And I find that when I train a lot of dogs that have a large amount of behavioral issues, like they jump, they bark, they paw at you, they don't let other people come into the house with ease. You know, there's just different things that happen from a fear-based perspective in the dog world. I find that the hands are what those dogs who need you to feel safe want most. And when we are training, we are able to train a lot quicker when we take the hands out of the mix. So for instance, if we are working with a dog that has a behavioral issue of jumping up on you or jumping up on strangers, the first thing that we need to do is we need to use body blocking. Body blocking is a really great way to show the dog that there's a boundary there, but we are not going to force the dog or make the dog feel uncomfortable. We're just giving a boundary to the dog, but it's not with our hands. Okay. So how it's going to work is you're pretty much just going to use your elbow and you're going to gently push down towards the dog. There's not going to be a quick jerk. That's not what we're doing. We're going to use our elbow and we're going to just guide the dog back down. So the dog is up on you. The dog's right here. We're just going to take our elbow and we're going to say down. Our body is going to come down with the elbow and we're going to make it one smooth interaction. Okay. The other thing that we can do is we can body block with our knee. So we can lift our knee up, which is what I'm doing. You can't see me on camera right now, but we're going to lift our knee up and we're going to show the dog that there's a boundary there. And then we're going to require them to sit. So once we go ahead and we body block with our leg, our knee up, we're going to use our hand and we're going to put them in a sit. When we take our hands out of the mix of touching the dog during the training moment goes way quicker, okay? Now, you can still love on your dog, touch your dog all you want, pet your dog, rub your dog, do all that you want with your hands after that dog has given you the result of the command that you need in that moment. So if we say down and the dog comes down, then you can say yes. That's a good word that you can use as like a bookend of the training. The end of the command is you want to use a word that is really strong and you can say yes. So you can say yes and you can go right underneath their chin and just give them all the love and stuff with your hands and give them all the scratches that they want. But if you do that or you pet them or you console them, right, when they're misbehaving, they don't get it They don't get that it's a barrier. They don't get that it's a boundary, right? And that's only one example of how you can take hands out of the mix for behavioral training. You know, if you have a dog that barks all the time and you walk up to that dog and you pet that dog in any way or touch it in any way, it's going to get the idea that what they're doing is fine because you've approached them and you've touched them, giving them affection and connection. Now, there are times in training when we do have to touch the dog, but it's all under mentor, which is you as the pet parent, and follower, which is them as the dog, status. So like if I put a dog into a sit, okay, and the dog automatically starts shifting right and left, shifting, but it's still in a sit, but it's shifting, right? And it's a little bit distracted, like what's going on? I don't feel comfortable. I will just simply tap the dog with two of my fingers to kind of shut that brain off, right? Because when a dog's brain is ahead, when they are in their own mind, their head is usually forward, okay? Or they are either lunging and pulling their body forward, or the head is up and out, okay? So when they are forward or up and out with their head, they're in control and their mind is going. But when we can get them into a sit, it actually shuts the brain off. And if they start to get a little fidgety, like, you know, squirrel, like that kind of thing, we can just tap them, and tapping them or nudging them just like with a tap with our knee, whatever it is, we can get them to kind of just break that initial I'm in charge mentality, mindset, and we can get them to come back to training, which is you are the mentor and they are the follower. So that's how it works beautifully when we are in training, mentor follower mindset. So take your hands out of the mix when you are working with your dog in training, and make sure that you are using some type of word on the end of the training after you've gotten what you want as a result, and you can touch them then. All right. And that will work a lot better. When we are touching our dogs constantly and saying one thing and showing them with our body language that we mean something separate, different, they're not going to understand, and it becomes confusing, and they're not going to train. Okay. So I hope that you find these tips helpful. Keep your hands out of the way when you need to train your dog in the moment, and give them all the love with your hands afterwards. All right. For more information, you can visit my website. Go to www.qualityoflifematters.com, because I'm all about your best quality of life with your K9 Bestie by your side. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.